How do you know who is the right voice teacher for you? This is a question I received recently from a listener, and I thought this would be a really great one to tackle because surely some of you who are listening to this podcast, you're probably at the stage here where you're thinking about voice lessons, or maybe you've actually decided to pursue voice lessons. But the question now is who? Who should I look for to help me? Who's that right person for me? Now, my answer is personally going to be a bit biased because I teach voice lessons myself. I'm a voice teacher and I work with students from all around the world as well. So it's going to be a bit hard for me to give you a very clear kind of answer. But as much as I am a voice teacher, I'm also a voice student myself. I've taken many lessons over the years working with teachers all around the world. And so I'd like to speak on that experience, share some of the lessons that I've had when it comes to finding a voice teacher. Now, real quick, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ivan. I'm a voice teacher who works with students from all around the world. And really on this channel, my goal is to make learning how to sing as simple and as easy as possible. So if that is something that is up your lane, consider subscribing. If you're looking for more help with your voice, more tailored help, check out some of the links on the description on how to work with me privately. Last but not least, if you want to inspire our next episode, drop into the comments down below. Let me know what you want me to talk about. Okay, I actually want to start this off by tackling a misconception because a common thought when it comes to finding a voice teacher is usually, hey, I'll just choose the teacher who has the best singing voice. And sure, this is fair, if they've got a great singing voice, surely they know what they are doing. But I'm going to challenge this assumption because you can actually do something really well without knowing all the details. Now, for example, I've got the chance to meet and coach a lot of natural singers who are really, really good at their craft. But the interesting thing is when you ask them, hey, what do you think about when you're singing? What do you focus on? A lot of them would just tell you, hey, I just focus on my breathing. I just try to sing the song with emotions. I think about the lyrics. And this will work for them. This will honestly work for them because they've built a really great set of foundations. They've got these really good habits that they automatically do so that they can just focus on that. But if you then give that same piece of feedback to someone who hasn't built that foundation, then you're going to really dig your head in because that piece of advice is just not suited for that person learning how to sing. And so really we need to look for a voice teacher who's able to keep this in mind. They're able to give you the feedback at the right point in time. And to do this, they need to understand where you are, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and then give you the right kind of feedback that will help you build your voice brick by brick. And so what do you suggest, Ivan? A great singing voice is an important piece of the puzzle. If you feel like that voice just sounds great to your ears, that's a great place to start. But also look for their ability to communicate that knowledge, to pass that knowledge on to other people. One of the ways I do it on my own channel is I share a lot of before and afters, I share testimonials, I share actual behind the scenes of lessons, actual lesson recordings to show you that I have that ability to communicate this knowledge to other singers. Now, the second piece of the puzzle when it comes to determining the right voice teacher for you, if we boil it down, we're basically looking for a teacher who can actually get us results, provided you've actually done the work. Yes, if they're a nice person, if they're great for you, that is secondary, but you're here because you want to get better at your singing voice. Because if not, why are you paying money to be there? Now, how do we figure out if this teacher is going to give you results? This is similar to me asking, how do you know how high you can jump? The only real way here is you got to try it. You got to try jumping. You got to try measuring it. This is the same thing with finding a voice teacher because you can check out their testimonials, you can check out their before and afters, you can kind of hear them through word of mouth. All of these can be great ways to gauge how good a teacher might be. But the only way to see if they're going to get your results is you have to have direct experience working with them. This is why for newer clients, I always offer a trial lesson. We usually don't jump straight in because that way we can get a gauge of each other. We can see if we're compatible and we can see if I'm able to give them results. And so really my recommendation for you here is if you've got a few voice teachers that you're thinking about, book in a trial lesson with them, ask for a single session, find a way to get direct experience because I promise you're gonna get so much more data on who is that right teacher with you when you actually dip your foot into the water and you try a session with them. Now, the last piece of the puzzle is that it is a process. Don't feel like you have to have that perfect teacher for you from the get-go. Like I personally didn't. I've worked with a lot of singing teachers over these years and some of them I've stayed with them for a lot longer. Some of them I haven't stayed with them as long. Don't feel like you have to find that perfect teacher for you from the get-go. If you feel like they are not for you, then you can always move and find another teacher. Now, the caveat of this is learning to sing does take time. So you can't be like, I didn't see amazing results in one session, so therefore I'm out of it. There is a lot of merit in sticking with an instructor. I've worked with some teachers for multiple countless years because surely and slowly we were seeing progress, right? And I didn't have that expectation of it will just suddenly click and everything will magically happen overnight. So as long as you got that expectation there, you're gonna have to balance that a bit for yourself, right? You want to see results, you want to see steady progress, but don't put unrealistic expectations on your progress as well. Anyway, that is a wrap, team. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode and you found value. If you did, please share this with a friend or post this on your social media. It would really help this channel grow and it would just mean the world to me personally. Also on this topic about choosing the right voice teacher, as I said before, I'm quite biased here because I teach lessons, and what that means is if you are also interested in working with me, check out some of the links in the description. I love working with people, especially subscribers or listeners to this channel, this podcast. It's always cool to see people who have been following me for some time, and then I get the chance to really take their singing to the next level. And I know I can do this for you because I've helped so many people over these past couple of years. If you're interested in that, just check out the links in the description. Apart from that, take care. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Ivan. I'm your voice teacher, and I'll see you next Thursday or Friday for a weekly episode. Take care.